O great Brahma, grant me eternal sleep.
Ravana, the demon king, was losing his war. Beyond the calm shores of Lanka, his army was being humiliated by Prince Rama's invading forces. With his defenses crumbling, Ravana turned to his absolute last resort. He needed to wake his younger brother, Kumbhakarna. Waking him was a logistical nightmare. Kumbhakarna was a giant trapped in an unnatural, impenetrable slumber. To break it, the demon army resorted to screaming, beating him with heavy clubs, and marching a stampede of war elephants directly over his body. This extreme sleep cycle has actually caught the attention of modern science. Look at this glowing section in the center of the brain diagram. Medical journals have hypothesized that Kumbhakarna's myth might be an ancient allegory for a specific disorder of the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus regulates both appetite and sleep. A severe dysfunction here perfectly mirrors the giant's mythological condition, an unending cycle of ravenous hunger, followed by months of perpetual hibernation. But when the elephants finally did the trick and the giant woke up, he didn't act like a mindless, hungry beast. He looked at his brother Ravana and sharply scolded him for his immoral actions. Kumbhakarna possessed a profound spiritual awareness. He knew that their enemies were divine. He openly acknowledged that the princess Sita was an avatar of the goddess Lakshmi, and that Rama was the mortal incarnation of the supreme creator deity, Vishnu. This creates a massive contradiction. Why would an immensely wise being, fully aware of Rama's supreme divinity, deliberately pick up a sword to destroy the very god he reveres? To understand his choice, we have to look past the earthly battlefield and up into Vaikuntha, the sacred cosmic realm of Vishnu. Kumbhakarna wasn't born a demon. He was originally a celestial gatekeeper named Vijaya. For failing to show respect to visiting sages, Vijaya was cursed with mortality, sentenced to spend 3 lifetimes on Earth as a powerful, fearsome Rakshasa. In his second earthly incarnation as Kumbhakarna, his physical strength was terrifying. He even managed to subdue Yama, the god of death, and strike Indra, the king of heaven, squarely in the chest. To cement this dominance, Kumbhakarna and his brothers performed a massive yajna, an intense ritual sacrifice designed to please Brahma and secure a cosmic boon. Fearing the giant would ask for control over the heavens, a panicked Indra begged Saraswati, the goddess of speech, to intervene and sabotage the request. Watch the linguistic trap. Intending to ask for Indrasana, Indra's throne, Saraswati tied his tongue, producing Nidrasana, a bed. He then meant to ask for Nirdevatvam, annihilation of gods, but instead asked for Nidravekvam, sleep. The boon was granted. Ravana begged Brahma to show mercy and commute the permanent sleep curse. Brahma agreed to reduce it to 6-month cycles. The giant would wake up, eat to his heart's content, and fall directly back to sleep. Kumbhakarna is a tragedy of anatomy. He is a divine guardian soul, imprisoned inside a monstrous body, deliberately physically crippled by divine sabotage. This brings us back to the standoff in Lanka. The 3 brothers took entirely different paths. Ravana fought purely for ego. Vibhishana defected to join the divine army. Kumbhakarna chose neither. He operated strictly on dharma, an unshakable, fatalistic duty. Even though he knew his brother was morally bankrupt, his loyalty to his blood and his homeland forced him onto the battlefield. Accompanied by his wife and 2 sons, Kumbhakarna finally marched into the fray. His presence instantly shifted the momentum of the war. He carved through the opposing forces, slaughtering 8,000 Vanara, the monkey warriors of Rama's army. He even fought their king, Sugriva, knocking him unconscious and dragging him away as a prisoner. Rama's brother Lakshmana stepped in. The 2 warriors locked into an agonizing, protracted duel that pushed them both to the absolute brink of physical exhaustion. Then Rama joined the fight. The supreme god deployed the Vayuastra, a divine weapon of wind, which sliced cleanly through Kumbhakarna's arm. A volley of crescent arrows severed his feet entirely. Yet he dragged his mutilated body forward, opening massive jaws to try and swallow Rama whole. The battle ended when Rama deployed the Indrastra, decapitating the giant. His colossal head smashed through Lanka's fortifications and plummeted into the sea below. The scale of this clash cemented his cultural immortality. To this day, his tragic defeat is celebrated in vibrant theatrical festivals. But if you look at the myth closely, dying on that battlefield was never a defeat. Being slain by Vishnu's avatar was his ultimate liberation. He fulfilled his earthly loyalty, and in doing so, destroyed the cursed demonic body that kept his soul from returning home to Vaikuntha. It takes a lot to wake a giant. When weapons, clubs, and shouting directly into his ear failed, it required the weight of exactly 1,000 elephants marching across his chest to finally pull him from his slumber. This is Kumbhakarna, a Rakshasa or mythological demon of towering proportions. Known in the ancient Hindu epic the Ramayana for his terrifying size and an appetite capable of devouring entire armies, he usually slept for 6 months at a time. But his nap is cut short by his older brother, Ravana. Ravana is losing his war against a prince named Rama, and in an act of pure desperation, he forces Kumbhakarna a week to deploy him as a weapon of mass destruction. You might expect a towering demon to eagerly rush into bloodshed. Instead, Kumbhakarna assesses the situation and tells his brother bluntly, "You are completely in the wrong, and this war is entirely unjust." Kumbhakarna possesses a deep theological understanding of the battlefield. He explains to Ravana that their enemy, Rama, is an earthly manifestation of the supreme deity Vishnu, and that his kidnapped wife Sita is an avatar of the goddess Lakshmi. Ravana completely ignores him. He dismisses the theology, rejects the moral reasoning, and demands strict military compliance. That leaves Kumbhakarna with an impossible choice. He is a demon who possesses absolute moral clarity, forced to choose between the objective laws of cosmic justice and his unwavering devotion to his family. His terrifying physical exterior hides a strict, virtuous compass. He sees the truth clearly, making the decision he is about to make a profound tragedy. To understand how a monster got such a sharp moral compass, we have to look back at his previous existence. Before he was a demon, Kumbhakarna was Vijaya, a celestial gatekeeper guarding the sacred realm of Vishnu. But after committing an act of impiety, Vijaya and his brother were punished by the 4 Kumaras, roaming divine sages. They were cast out of paradise and cursed to live out 3 mortal lifetimes on earth as demons before they could return home. Reborn into a monstrous form, Kumbhakarna retained his divine, terrifying power. He was so strong that he physically subdued major deities, including Indra, the king of the gods, and Yama, the god of death. Having a mortal demon with the physical strength to beat the actual gods into submission threw the universe out of balance. He became an existential threat to the natural order. He was a divine spirit trapped in a curse, holding too much power for his physical form, and fighting a losing battle against a universe stacked against him. Seeking to cement his place in the world, Kumbhakarna and his brothers performed a massive yajna, a sacred ritual, to earn an ultimate boon, or wish, from Brahma, the creator god. Indra panicked. Knowing Kumbhakarna could ask for total domination, the king of the gods conspired with Saraswati, the goddess of speech, to sabotage the ritual from the inside. Saraswati tied his tongue. Instead of Indrasana, the throne of the gods, he mispronounced it, requesting Nidrasana, a bed. Next, he intended to ask for Nirdevatvam, annihilation of the gods. Instead, he requested Nidravitvam, the word for sleep. Brahma instantly granted the twisted request. Kumbhakarna was condemned to sleep endlessly, until his brother Ravana managed to negotiate the curse down to a cycle of waking for only 6 months at a time. The gods used a cheap semantic trick to neutralize a rival. In doing so, they stripped a virtuous entity of his free will, effectively turning him into a remote-controlled weapon that Ravana could point at his enemies. Back on the battlefield, Kumbhakarna makes his final choice. Knowing that his brother is leading an unjust war against a divine force, he decides his loyalty to his bloodline and his homeland outweighs his allegiance to righteousness. He marches into the fray. This stone bas-relief captures the sheer chaos he inflicted upon entering the battle, single-handedly turning the tide against Rama's forces. This close-up relief highlights the massive scale of the threat as smaller warriors swarm the giant. He slaughtered 8,000 Vanaras, the monkey warriors fighting for Rama, and physically battered their commander, Sugriva, until he fell unconscious. He then engaged in a grueling, drawn-out duel with Rama's brother, Lakshmana. The sheer length of the fight exhausted both warriors and proved Kumbhakarna's unmatched stamina. Finally, he faces Rama himself. The prince unleashes massive celestial weapons. The Vayuastra severs one of Kumbhakarna's arms, and the Indrastra mutilates the other. Even then, bleeding and dismembered, the giant continues to charge. Right before the fatal blow, Kumbhakarna acknowledges his sworn dharma to fight, yet he makes one final request, begging Rama to spare the life of his other brother, Vibhishana, who had defected to the righteous side. Rama deploys a final strike. Kumbhakarna is decapitated, and his massive head plummets from the sky, crushing city buildings and fortifications before finally sinking into the sea. A life defined by divine origins and demonic curses ends in complete destruction. He possessed all the knowledge needed to do the right thing, yet chose to march towards his own execution because of his profound, unshakable love for his brother.